So for our first basic steps in using SPSS and working with files for statistics, let's go into Blackboard. So I'll double click that and I'm going to log in just like you will. Sign in. And here's Applied Statistics, 2 sections of it. Maybe one of these is yours. And here we have some materials before class begins. And actually I'm going to delete some of these because we're going to try to do everything in SPSS this semester. We're going to forget about Excel. And so down here, let's get rid of this. Installing VM, we're going to get rid of that. We're going to keep height, weight data. Get rid of this file. Using VM, we're even going to get rid of that. And we're going to keep these 3 data files. So I'll hit submit. And so here's our data. We'd like to download them to our desktop. At least I would. If I just left click these, it will download into your folder called Downloads. If I right click it and do Save Link As, they'll download as height weight data to your desktop if you're pointing here to your desktop. Otherwise, you may need to maneuver around to make sure that you get it where you want to. So this PC, desktop, save. And you can see down here, it tells me that I saved it there. I can repeat that for each of these other files. This first file is a Word document. The second file is a comma-separated delimited file. This is an Excel file, and this is a text file. And SPSS needs a different procedure to open each of them. I'm going to show you how to do it, and then hopefully you'll practice some and get pretty adept at it, so that when we actually start doing our data work in the first week of class next week, you'll be a power user. So I've put SPSS on my start bar. It may be, if you're a Windows user, that you can find it here, and it'll be under IBM. See IBM SPSS Statistics, so you can open it from there. I just double click it and be prepared to be patient because SPSS is a big file, and the program itself, it takes a while to load up. So here we come. And we're now in SPSS Statistics. I don't want to use this first screen, so I'm going to click the X. And here I'm looking at a bunch of blank variables. And there's a data view and a variable view for SPSS. If I click the variable view, I don't have anything in there either. So, okay, let's go get our files. So I click File, Open, Data, and it put me to the desktop. You may have to scroll down and find the desktop. And here's height, weight, SPSS saved on my desktop, but that's not what we wanted to work with. So I come down here, and I had some Excel files. So here we go. And here's our height, weight data. If I double click that, it's going to give me some prompts. And so these are the 3 things that are important. You're going to use the worksheet here that they've specified. Read variable names from the first row of data. Percentage of values that determine data type 95. Ignore hidden rows and columns. So I just click OK. And voila, now I have variables with the types. It didn't do great by me with a couple of these variables. So it sort of read things a little silly. And so this isn't very satisfying. Let's try a different file. So open, data, and sometimes SPSS will have trouble opening up Excel. Let's do the comma delimited. If you'll notice, I've had to specify types of files by hitting this little drop down. So we want CSV, and right here's a height weight CSV file. I highlight it and click open. And now we're going to have to follow some prompts. Our text file does not match a predefined format, so we'll go to the next page. Our variable views are at the top of the file. We're delimited, and we want periods for decimals. So we're good to go here. Each line represents a case, yes. The first case begins on the second line because the labels, data labels, are in the first row. We want all of the cases, and we're going to hit next. We're comma delimited. Remember the CSV. Here's the names, sex, age, height, weight. Next. We're good with this, so let's just finish it. And here are our data. This time it read it in very nicely, if you can see that. If I click variable view, you'll see that we have two string variables. That means they're letters, characters. And if we look back here, you'll see that the names are indeed letters, as is the sex. The age, height, and weight variables are numeric. They're 2 and 3 places wide, no decimals. And we go to the data and we see these 2 columns are 2 places wide, and that one's 3. So here's our data. Notice we have a missing value for Yao, for age. There's a lot of things we could do here in terms of dealing with a missing variable and a missing value, and we'll talk about that later in the course. So we've loaded this data in. Suppose you'd like to sort it. You go to Data, Sort Cases. Shall we sort by name? Okay. Sort by name. So we highlighted it and moved it over there with the arrow. All right. And we'll go OK. You could have clicked that and it will automatically save it for you, but let's do saving a little bit later. And hit OK. Our execution log tells us what it did. Okay. And down here it says sort cases by name. Go back to our data file, and sure enough, see this? We're sorted by name. The other thing we can do is we can type a new line of data in there. We call this person's added. She's female. She is 28. Her height is 63 inches, and weight of 120. So we can sort data, we can add data, we can analyze data, and we're going to do a lot of that this semester. Analyze, descriptive statistics, descriptives, which we're going to do next week, for the first week of class, and we're missing a value for age. So let's get the mean for the age. And now they'll tell us that. Here's our descriptive statistics. The minimum is 23, the maximum age is 53, and the mean's 34.11. And so for a very simple missing value fix, I'm putting the mean for the entire group in as the imputed value, and we'll talk about this some more. So, nice data set. We got it loaded using the CSV file, and let's save it. File, Save As, and I already have a height weight saved file there, but this is now saved in SPSS format, which is something we're going to like a lot. So let's save it, and it'll overwrite it. So now we've saved it in SPSS format. The third file that we could open, data, and we're going to look for that text file. And there it is. There's our CSV. Here's our text. So we open the text file. No predetermined format. Next. Limited, yes. Variable names at the top, yes. Period again. Next. Each line represents a case. We want all of the cases, just like we did before. But now you see it's tab delimited rather than comma delimited. Just a different type of file. Here's our names again, and we don't want anything special, so we just finish, and voila, here is our text file loaded into SPSS. Now, we've already saved it, so I'm going just to get out of that one and tell it I don't want it saved. I don't like this, didn't read it in well, so we'll exit out of that, and I don't want that saved. And here's the file that we fixed and we saved. That's the one we really want. It's the last one open, so it says closing the last data editor will exit SPSS. Yes, I want to go. Exit. Here's our log of what we did. I don't want to save it. You might want to in some future project, but right now I don't. So here I am, back on my desktop. Now I've got a new file called height weight SPSS. And what I wanted to show you from this is, if you'll save your data in this form, and after the first couple of weeks, I'm going to give you all the files in SPSS format. But here it is, height weight SPSS. If you click on it, double click on it with your left mouse button, the file will automatically open right in SPSS. And here you have it. And watch for the data. Sort of like magic. And it includes the owl's fixed age. So I hope this was helpful. We downloaded files from Blackboard. We opened SPSS. We loaded files into SPSS. We sorted data. We did descriptive statistics. We fixed a missing value problem. We saved our work, and we exited out of SPSS. Hope this helped. If you have any trouble at all, as always, please let me know. Thanks.